What's up, everybody? This is Colin from Holistic Heritage Homestead. I hope you're all well. This is our most recent prepper food pantry haul. Really, it's just a food pantry haul because we try to buy items that we eat on a regular basis. I recommend you folks do the same. I'm going to go through these items, explain what they are, why we bought them, and I'm going to give you folks some tips and some information and things to consider that might help you out. So one of the first things you folks want to consider when you're buying food in general, especially when you're buying food for, thinking about emergency preparedness, is you want to think about macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs. Besides that, you want to consider calories because calories are energy. So I'm not going to go too much into the diet and the nutritional aspects, but I'm going to touch lightly on some things. If you folks disagree, that's fine. That's the beauty of different ideas, different opinions. But I have studied ad nauseum diet, nutrition, wellness, supplementation for many, many years, and I have learned a thing or two about a thing or two. What is a priority for us is protein, specifically animal-based protein. Beef, chicken, eggs, fish, shellfish, pork, you get it. The reason why animal-based protein is a priority for us is because, well, besides raising livestock, it might be more difficult to acquire animal-based protein. People think that they might be able to hunt. Well, game might become scarce. You might not have the skills, the equipment, the tools, the ability to even leave your home to hunt. Animal-based protein. Animal-based proteins have complete amino acid profiles, and unlike their plant-based protein counterparts, they have higher amounts of leucine, isoleucine, and valine. That is important because preserving muscle mass is always important and arguably more important in an emergency scenario. You want to be as big and strong as possible and have muscles that can do things. So animal-based protein. Beef is one of the best, if not the best, animal-based protein in my opinion. It's amazing. Red meat is amazing for you. Do your own research. Not going to get too much into that. So yes, you want to consider that. And here we have Keystone Beef, by the way, and we are definitely not sponsored by any of these companies that we are going to talk about. And that would be awesome if we were. Beef and sea salt, okay? And folks, I am not an expert. I am not a nutritionist. Only nutritionists and doctors can know things. They're the only ones who can read. They're the only ones who can, learn. That's my disclaimer. But seriously, though, do your own research. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just telling you my opinions, if you will. Okay. So besides the beef, we've got our clams. We like spaghetti or linguine, pasta, whatever pasta with clam sauce is something we eat frequently in our home. Great protein option. These are great. Kipper snacks. Okay. Awesome. All right. Omegas. Great. Protein. Great. 11 grams of protein. Very, very cheap. Okay. Canned fish. Underrated. Definitely a great option. Beans. 20 pounds of pinto beans. Beans are great. You have fiber, which is going to be important, okay? You have carbs, okay? Very important. That's your fuel, all right? And these are so versatile. Beans are great because you can use them in so many different recipes. These are 4-pound bags of black beans. I got 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, okay? Love black beans, okay? And we have lots and lots of other beans. Here, for example, here's a tip for you. Get things that have seasoning with them, okay? They're great because you're going to want that. You're going to want that quick, easy meal. And honestly, just a little bit of flavor does go a long way. These are the types of beans you're going to have to cook out. You're going to have to soak them, whatever. You should learn how to prepare these. These will have to be, most of these or all of these will have to be soaked or cooked out to release tannins. I believe these do not. I believe these have to be boiled, okay? But beans are great. They last for a long time. So versatile, and you have great carbs with them. Speaking of carbs, oh, let's not forget our single can of Spam here. Folks, I'm not saying this stuff is the most healthy food, but right now we eat what we can afford, what's available, whatever. We do prefer higher quality foods. We do try to eat all organic. We do prefer grass-fed meat, grass-fed beef, in particular. But we eat what we can afford and what's available. Spam, yeah, probably horrible for you, but we eat it sometimes. It's a great prepper food. It's protein, and it lasts a very, very long time. So, yeah, it very versatile. You could use this many ways. Okay, many ways, and it's just a great option to have. Canned meat, canned corned beef is another great option to have. Sweet potatoes. Okay, thinking of fuel, thinking of carbs in the form of some nice starches. Okay, this is great. This is great. Lots of carbs. You're going to want something like that in a survival scenario, okay? Cooking oils. Here we have extra virgin olive oil. Another great thing to have. Your fats, okay? Fats. Fats are going to be great to cook with. They're going to lend flavor to food. They're going to give you calories and also give you some nutrition. Very important. A lot of people like peanut butter. Not my favorite prepper item, but I think a great prepper item. This is natural, okay? I believe it's just peanuts and salt, all right? Lots of calories here. This is great. Calories, that's fuel, got some carbs, and lots of fat. Excellent prepper item, okay? Now I'm gonna jump over here. Capers, interesting. Why capers, Colin? Well, I'll tell you why. A lot of these items are whole foods, and folks, in a survival scenario, food fatigue, which means you're going to get bored of the same food over and over again, is very real. Do not think that you'll lose your appetite, in my opinion, and you're not going to want to eat food. It's going to be very, very important to eat food. I mean, most people are spoiled nowadays anyway. They're eating, all different foods all the time. And that's great, and you should, and it's great for your nutrient profiles as well. But in a real survival scenario, anything that's going to last longer than a day or 2 days, 3 days, weeks, months, maybe even years, you're going to want little things like this. By the way, capers, chicken, fish, poultry, great, okay? You're going to want things like this to do what I call disguised repetition, to take the same items over and over again and just create them, use them in a way that makes them seem different, makes it seem new. And just adding flavor, it's going to go a long way, okay? Now, moving over to some vegetables here. We've got different vegetables. There's some thought behind this, folks, okay? Peas. Peas are excellent. Excellent. You have some great plant-based protein, okay? We do try to eat non-GMO whenever possible because GMOs are garbage. They are horrible. Do your research. So, sweet peas. These have carbs, okay? And they've got fiber, and they've got some good plant-based protein. So all things considered, I would choose something like a sweet pea over, let's say, string beans or green beans, because I'm getting some more plant protein out of it. And I'm also getting more, I assume, I could check this, but I'm assuming I'm getting more calories. I'm assuming that I'm getting more energy, more carbs. So that's something for you folks to consider. Not all vegetables are created equal. One of the reasons I like mixed vegetables, for example, is that mixed vegetables, they give you a diversity of nutrition, different nutrient profiles. Now, vegetables for me are just more of a adding flavor ingredient. Vegetables are very, very important when it comes to, daily eating, of course. Very important when it comes to getting different compounds, different antioxidants, okay? Fiber, but not necessarily a priority when it comes to survival. So those of you that think you're just gonna, garden and grow a bunch of, vegetables and survive, you might wanna reconsider, because you really have to think about calories, okay? And now speaking of calories, we could do a side-by-side. These are the green beans, okay? Half cup, half cup, 80 calories in the peas, 20 in the green beans. So yeah, I was right on with that. 3 grams of carbs, and we're looking at 16 grams of carbs, okay? So yeah, big difference there, big difference there. But you do want variety because you do not want food fatigue to set in. You do not want to be bored. You do want different nutrient profiles. So a little bit of a variety. If I were to pick the most important types of vegetables, okay, even though I know peas are not necessarily vegetables, you get the point. Peas, carrots, root vegetables, okay? They're great. They're great. Lots of good carbs, lots of good starches. Stir-fry vegetables. This is less of a prepper item, but they're a good example of diversity, okay? There's multiple things in here. Bean sprouts, cut baby corn, sliced bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, sliced chili, garlic, okay? So this is going to give me the opportunity to create a lot of different meals. Stir-fry, obviously. I can mix these with beans, with rice, any protein, a meal. I can literally put some rice, some beans, stir-fry vegetables, a can of beef in a single container, boil, eat in a survival scenario, okay? I'm getting a lot of different nutrition there. Corn, we enjoy corn, okay? French-style green beans. We also have 12 of these larger cans of leaf spinach. Why? Because I love spinach. Because I love spinach. And my wife loves spinach as well. And spinach has some beneficial nutrients. Octocosanol, I believe, is one of them. Different compounds, okay? We're thinking about, we're thinking further than just macronutrients when it comes to vegetables, okay? Your priority is your protein, your fats, and your carbs, arguably in that order, preferably animal-based. After that, you want to start thinking about things to flavor your food, okay? Like we talked about the capers, all right? And you want to think about nutrition, okay? Speaking of flavoring your food, we have a large amount of seasoning here, all different kinds, okay? Oregano, garlic powder, garlic salt, onion powder, lots of different stuff, Italian seasoning, paprika, all right? Very, very important. One of the most underrated things, in my opinion, when it comes to prepping is seasoning. Now, salt is more than just seasoning, so I'm not even gonna call salt, a season or a spice, because salt is just so important. Salt concentrates and amplifies flavor. If you're not cooking with salt, you're not really cooking, in my opinion. And salt is very important for health, electrolyte balance. Iodized salt is a great source of iodine. Well, not necessarily a great source of iodine, but a source of iodine. And salt is very important. We do try to make sure we stock up on salt. This is more just about flavor, okay? Flavor. Again, to prevent food fatigue, you want to disguise repetition. That means using seasoning, different cooking methods, okay? By the way, random tip, the best cooking method in a survival scenario is actually boiling, because you're not going to lose the nutrients like you would over open flame. You're not going to lose those great calories in the form of fat, okay? You're not going to hopefully drop food into the fire, for example. Boiling keeps all of the nutrients, all of the food in the container. You could also hydrate at the same time. Boiling is the ideal, not saying it tastes the best, but is the ideal way to prepare food in a preparedness scenario. It's also easy, and you could throw multiple things like beans, for example, into a pot. Now with our beans, we have lots and lots of beans. Lots and lots of beans, okay? I don't even know how many pounds are in here, okay? Lots of beans. Light red kidney beans. 15 bean soup. Talking about diversity, okay? Beans, I feel, and I could do more research on this, unlike vegetables, there's probably not as much of a difference when it comes to beneficial compounds, micronutrients, trace minerals, and all of that. I assume there are differences, but with beans, for me, I'm just focused more on the macros, the macronutrients, okay? Fiber, for example, carbs, protein, basic stuff. But the point is, they will have different amounts of different vitamins, different minerals, different nutrients. So you want to diversify, okay? Just like taking a vitamin supplement. The whole point is you're just trying to kind of fill in the holes nutritionally where, you know, what you're not eating, what nutrients you're not getting. And the diversity really does help. And it's fun. Different flavors maybe, okay? I recommend things like this. And this is cool because this is just a soup. Yeah, we think about having food in many different places. I'm not going to tell you too much right now in this video, but putting food pretty much everywhere you can imagine. Bug out locations, who knows? You could even bury some food around different places for certain reasons. I'm not going to go into too many details. But you're going to want some stuff that is real easy, very much grab and go. Very much grab and go. Let's say your food is stolen. There's so many different scenarios that could happen in life, and scenarios do happen in life, folks. Let's say your food is stolen. Well, you're going to want some stuff, you know, let's say your spices are stolen, you know. Well, you're going to want some spices somewhere else. And if that means just having some seasoning packet in your beans and having it ready, well, that's something to consider. Easy, available. More seasoning? Great idea, I think. Okay? Different types of beans. Lentils. We love lentils. Lentils. Okay? Lentils are great. Okay? And some of these might be legumes or whatever, but I'm just thinking them as like fibrous carbohydrates, essentially. Lots of lentils, lots of different things. So many different types of beans. There's lima beans in there, all kinds of different things. But you get the point. Folks, those pinto beans, a 20-pound bag of pinto beans, that's something that we could take. We can open that up, split that up. My wife had a great idea of just cooking that and then canning it afterwards. This is another way to preserve it. A lot of different things. We could break that up and portion that. We can give those out as, we can give those out as rations to people who want to help other people, you know, strangers, people we don't even know. You know, a pound of pinto beans could really save someone's life, at least in the short term. And just thinking of things like that, folks. So that is essentially what we have going on here. Also, very, very important. I can't believe I almost forgot. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 distilled waters, okay? Well, we have a Berkey. Sure. We have well water that works. Sure. But backups for backups. What happens if, if you folks are following what's going on with Berkey right now, that ridiculous situation of, let's just say overreach. That's all I'll say right now. What happens if you can't get filters? What happens if your Berkey is stolen somehow? I don't know many people that have backup Berkeys because they could be expensive, okay? What happens if it just stops working? Whatever. What happens if you have to bug out and the Berkey can't go with you or it just doesn't go with you? Well, you might be able to just grab some distilled water, okay? This is drinkable. We could use this for, to maintain proper hygiene. This could be for our livestock, whatever. Water in many places, in many forms, is great, folks, is great. Sure, we're trying to have a pond stocked with water on our property, maybe 2 ponds. We live near a lake. We have fresh, but what if we're stuck inside? What if it's a type of situation where the well is broken or the well pump is not working or whatever, electricity is down and there's a bad snowstorm. We're stuck in the house for 2 weeks. Well, very, very happy to have some distilled water around, okay? Water, water, water. And water, folks, is more important than all the things as far as the food, okay? Water is a priority, but I assume most of, if not, most of you folks probably know that, maybe all of you. So this is not an ideal haul. There's could be some holes in the game here. This is not complete for sure. This is just what we happen to get. By the way, we happen to get this water because it was 10 cents, same volume, 1 gallon, 10 cents less than the other distilled water in a different area of Walmart. So that's that. Look around, do your shopping. And yeah, this is not a complete, list. These are just some items we got to focus on the macros, focus on calories, and just get our pantry to be more full. Because quite frankly, we have some concerns. We have some concerns about the world, things that are happening, and we just like to be prepared in general for whatever life throws at us. There's nothing wrong with having more food and more water on hand, folks. Anyone who says anything different than that is an idiot. And I know it's a harsh word, but that's pretty stupid to be against people having extra food and water around. And I would question someone's intentions if they were to be against that. And from an investment standpoint, food prices are going up and up and up. So quite literally, you can save money by buying now instead of later. Buy when cheap, common sense. So much more to say. I'm going to do more videos on this. Hopefully my awesome wife and I will do some videos together talking about our thoughts when it comes to prepping and our food pantry. And, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you have some recommendations? Again, this is not a complete, this is not everything we recommend. There are so many other things we recommend buying, but I think we covered some of the basics here, the fundamentals, and hopefully gave you, hopefully I gave you folks some tips and some information and some things to consider. And let me know some other things that maybe were not mentioned in this video. Let me know what you think of these items. Let me know, whatever you folks think, because we are a community and we can help one another. And I hope we can help one another learn and better prepare to kind of, as an insurance policy against the things that happen in life. Because things happen. I hope you're all well. Take care.